want to throw a little perspective at you today, if you feel like you can handle it. How do you feel about people that leave dogs in hot cars? Summer day, 90 degrees out, probably 110, 120 in the car. Let's make it a little bit better. Let's crack that window for the dog. Probably fine, right? Only gonna be a couple of minutes. I mean, what could go wrong? Person goes into Target, running their errands, and you pull up next to him. You see the dog panting in the car, not looking super comfortable. He probably needs a drink, maybe to be let out of the car to stand a chance at survival. What do you think about the person that did that to the dog? Probably kind of an asshole, right? Even if their intentions are good and they're coming right back and the dog's done it a million times before, it shouldn't be a problem. You still look at that person and judge them. Well, why? Why would you judge that person? They're just taking care of things that they need to take care of. That person left the dog in the car because it was convenient for them. Probably any number of reasons to try to justify leaving that dog in the car. But I mean, you and I both know that that's wrong to do, right? That person put an animal in harm's way for their own convenience. That dog is being tortured and could end up dead because of that person's negligence. No matter how careful they think they're being, that situation could result in the death of that dog very quickly. The dog's life is pretty good other than that. It didn't live a life of torture or anything like that. It's just simply along for the ride and happens to be put in a bad situation by someone who could care less because their convenience overrode the fact that this animal's welfare is something that needs to be honored. Okay, now do you kind of see where I'm going with this? Is it a perfect analogy? No, it's not. Go ahead and point that out in the comments below. Tell me all the reasons why it doesn't line up. But those open-hearted, open-minded, reasonable human beings will understand exactly where I'm going with this. We do this and worse every single day as we consume animal products. Well, I need the nutrition. I'm just gonna have a chicken sandwich, bro. It's not a big deal. Well, it still suffered because of you. It still died because of you. But dude, it's delicious. Well, you can get delicious things that didn't have to suffer and die because you asked for it to be that way. Nutrients, get them somewhere else. Tradition, well, it's a up tradition. Don't tell me how to live. Don't tell that animal how to die. It's what's natural. Are concentrated animal feeding operations natural? You see, most of the arguments that you could make to try to rebut my point here don't really stand up to the fact that at the end of the day, it's still you who's responsible for that thing's death. And you asked for it to be tortured and have a shitty life its entire life so you could have it killed one day and put in between two pieces of bread so you could get your nutrition, so you could get your tradition on, so you could have a snack, and then you make fun of people who don't like that. Now imagine for a second with me here, just walk with me. Imagine that an hour goes by and you come out of Target and you see that dog in the car still, right? He's still sitting there. He's probably about to die. Where does your head go? Do you think, that asshole that went inside and left that dog in the hot car? That dog is clearly gonna fucking die. Now imagine somebody else saw this situation too, and they looked at the dog in the car and they said, I'm gonna do something about that. And they go to work trying to solve the problem. I don't know, make it up yourself. Maybe they go over and break the window, or maybe they just open the car door or try to give the animal some cold water, or maybe they call the cops and let the cops know, hey man, you gotta come here and help this animal not die in this hot car because it was abandoned and neglected and it's dying because of human choice. Now, if you hate vegans, imagine yourself mocking the person trying to save the dog. You would be in the unique position to be making fun of someone who is trying to help save that animal from the human torture that it's experiencing right now. And I just want you to see that that concept doesn't really make sense. Why are you gonna make fun of the person saving the dog? He cares about dogs. We're fucking losers trying to help this dog. No, you're mad at the person who left the dog there. The dog was innocent, and it was a human decision that put that dog in that car. And now you're gonna mock the person trying to help save that dog. You're still looking at the person trying to save that dog like they're the asshole. I just wanna take a quick moment to disclaim that I know that not all people are like this. I'm mostly just talking to trolls and people that are very toxic about anti-veganism, because I think the world has come a long way, and not everybody's mocking vegans these days because I think people are starting to understand. But I mean, just imagine looking at the person trying to save that dog, and if they asked you, hey, come help me save this dog, come help me save this dog, and you said something like, don't tell me how to live. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me that that dog's life is important. I don't want to help you. I mean, that's a weird reaction, right? I mean, at least you're like, hey man, I just don't want to get involved. I don't want to break a car window, but I agree with what you're doing. It's just that I maybe don't want to partake myself. I guess that's my point. I'm not asking you to change. I'm asking you to understand what it's like to make fun of vegans. At the end of the day, you could stay eating whatever you want. I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad. You could do whatever you need to. But I just need you to see this from the vegan perspective for a second and understand that the way that vegans are treated just absolutely does not make a lick of sense. But you're still looking at vegans like somehow they're the assholes. So why do you feel that way about the dog? right? Because you're emotionally connected to dogs. Our whole Western society is connected to dogs. We love them. They're our best friend. They work for us. They're amazing animals, right? Well, what's wrong with adjusting your view a little bit to include other animals in that picture? So we call that cognitive dissonance, right? You're mad about it because it's a dog in a hot car and someone decided on that, and that's messed up. It's weird to only allow emotional levels like this for dogs, but not for pigs, who arguably are smarter. Society gets all pissed off when they hear about animals that are abandoned at zoos after the zoo closes, like the orca that's in the pool. Nobody's back there trying to get him out. We all, as a society, erupt with fury and anger about situations like that, but we don't care about veal. We don't care about foie gras. We don't care about chickens that are hung upside down and run through burning water or oil to kill them. We don't care about chickens or fish or cows or animals that are hung upside down and have their necks slit as they bleed out on these slaughterhouse floors. When we look at other countries that eat dogs, we think in our hearts, that's so fucking wrong. But why is it only wrong for dogs? Why do we get mad at that cruelty? But we don't bat an eye at the way that food animals are treated. We pretend to care. Or maybe we actually do really care, but only about certain things. I think we need to widen that scope. If you are someone who is empathetic or smart or reasonable or open-hearted, open-minded, able to take in new information and make adjustments based on that fact to more closely align your life with what is good and right, then I think you should start looking at making a change. And again, I'm not asking you to change what you eat necessarily. You can do that too if you want. But I'm asking you to change the way you think about vegans. The vegans are just the person who's trying to help that dog in the hot car. And if you would make fun of that person, then you're messed up. And if you would think that that person was doing a noble thing by trying to free that dog, then somewhere deep down you agree with vegans. Let's make it even better, right? Let's put a pig in that car. Hot summer day. You know that some meat eaters would walk by that car and say, wow, what's going on here is horrible. It is not okay to treat an animal like that. But because it's a pig, some people would walk by and say, oh, bacon, as if that animal wasn't suffering, as if that animal wasn't being tortured right in front of them. They'd be making food jokes, but not for the dog. Nobody looks at a dog in a hot car and says, dog bacon. I mean, maybe they would in other countries, but again, we would look at that and say, that's fucked up. All right, I don't need to beat a horse to death on this one. Not that I would, because I'm a vegan. Ayo! You understand my point. And if you want to do a deep dive and stop hiding behind ignorance on this or convenience for your own life, what you should do is politely, I would request that you go watch the Earthlings documentary and see what you think. Again, I'm not going to ask you to stop eating meat. I'm going to ask you to get informed. You are probably someone who, deep down, at the end of the day, wants to live the best life that they can. If you are somebody that wants to know the truth that is actively being hidden from you by things like ag-gag laws and big animal agriculture and the government, then I think it's a good idea for you to go watch the Earthlings documentary and just see what's happening behind the scenes. And you tell me at the end of that documentary if you think vegans are crazy. You tell me if you think it's some stupid cause at that point and that you don't understand on some level why vegans live the way they live and eat the way they eat. But that's only if you want the truth. If you don't want the truth, just understand that you're choosing to live in ignorance. You're choosing to look the other way when you walk past the car with the dog in it on that hot day. You're choosing to say, that's not happening. I don't want to see that. It's not going to change my mind. It's not going to change my mind about leaving dogs in hot cars. Right now, you are the person who left the dog in the hot car. And I am the person who is saying, let's do something about this. We don't want to bring things into existence just to torture them for their entire lives for our pleasure. And I'm sure on some level you agree with that, or you would agree with that if you were the dog in the hot car, if you were the cow who's hanging upside down, bleeding out on a slaughterhouse floor, if you were the chicken about to go through the superheated bath for the second time because you didn't die on the first try, if you were the pig in the chamber being gassed. Don't leave your dog in the hot car. Don't ask for things to die for your convenience, for your selfish purposes. And go watch Earthlings. See how you do. And then come back and comment. What'd you think?